Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we are driving around the airport in the air tug because today I want to try out stancing some vehicles that probably shouldn't be stanced. These are vehicles like the air tug, the monster truck, the tractor, the dump truck, lawnmower, and golf caddy. These are the vehicles that I'm going to try and stance out, and I don't know, maybe we'll like not stance them out, maybe we'll make them lifted and off-road style. We'll see what sort of styles we can come up with. But before that, it's going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comments section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. And I'm just wondering, I'm pretty sure I can tow things with this, can't I? I can tow this, or maybe I can't. I swear I could tow something with this. It's got a tow thing on the back. Actually, the reason why it can't tow might be related to the fact that this isn't actually an air tug. And the reason for that is because if I was to get a standard air tug from GTA 5, open up menus, customs, and try to put in some custom wheels to allow us to stance it and change the wheel size and all that sort of stuff, it would actually crash the game. It would break the game because most of these vehicles don't have mod kits on them, and basically this is just the thing that allows them to have wheels and stuff like that added to them. And so what Bob322 and Boy1 have done is they've made me a cool little mod, just a small little package full of some vehicles that have had the changes made that allow us to change the wheels in GTA 5. So this is something that you can't really do with standard GTA 5, but using some mods and some trickery, we can actually get all this sorted out. I'm not sure if this is going to be made public at any point. I believe Bob322 said he wanted to do something with the monster truck pack. We'll get round to that in a little bit, but I don't really know much about that. But there is one vehicle that I will be checking out in today's video that is on GTA 5 mods, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. It's actually made by 13 Stuart C, and it is a tractor that's also sort of a monster truck, and you can change all the wheels and modify it and all that sort of really cool and interesting stuff. So we'll be checking that out later on in the video. Why is this guy running away? What is going on? Right, let's just go and park this up so we can try and modify this, because there's lots of vehicles to get through today. We should probably stop talking. So here we are with the air tug, the non-standard air tug. So let's jump into menus, customs, right here, and go to wheels, and we should now be able to choose a different set of wheels. So in fact, let's just not go for sport. I always go for sport. Let's go for lowrider on this one, just to be a little bit different. And as you can see, we can change the size of the wheels, just like that. I mean, this is not going to be a stanced one, I guess. Maybe I might actually go for a different thing. There's not really much on offer in the lowrider section, but this one actually might be all right if I change the color. There we go. Should we go? So gold. Yeah, okay. Gold wire wheels. Well, okay, we can always change the wheels in a second and try this again. But now that we've got the custom wheels, we can open up V-Stancer. And we should probably jump out of this camera thing. And let's go to tires. Let's go to wheel size. And I guess we could make it bigger and fill the arches just a little bit more. Then we just have to go to rear and front and just change that radius so it looks like it matches and fits onto the ground. There we go. And then we can just jump in. In fact, if we get a bit more width in there, just a little bit more. It's just poking out just a little bit. That's pretty nice. In fact, let's get that so it's poking out in the front. We can always tuck the rear in. So there we go. We have that. Suspension menu. Let's go for some rear track width first and just make that a bit more flush. There we go. And then the front track width. I'll probably bring it out a little bit to about there. There we go. And then we can just lower that down. And now we have a sort of lowrider. In fact, we probably want to get that front bit track width in. There we go, to about there. What do we want on the rear? I reckon that might be enough. There we go. That's just a small lowrider air tug. But do you know what? I'm not really a fan of these wheels. It doesn't really suit the style. Let's just change these wheels. Ooh, here we go. 3 spokes. I mean, this is never supposed to be something that's modified ever. So this is always going to look really out of place and weird. So you're just going to have to use your imagination a bit for this one. But let's just go for a bit more wheel size. In fact, let's go smaller this time on these wheels. And wider. Smaller and wider. Always a good choice for me, I feel. And then we'll just go ahead and change the tyre radius so we can get those onto the floor. So they actually look like real wheels again. Obviously, these wheels are different sizes, so we actually move these in different positions, which is quite interesting. Sadly, we don't have the option to change the wheel size front and back Maybe that's coming in the future for V-Stancer, but I don't actually know. So just for now, we're going to have to change them all together. So, to go to suspension menu, we can now put that visual lowering down a whole lot more and actually get this scrape in the ground. Like that. That is insane. Now, if you weren't using the visual lowering, we probably could, actually. Let's just get this down to standard. I'm going to change the height of this one, because then we can actually get it scraping. Or perhaps not. Let's give this a try. We might actually have to get these wheels just a little bit bigger, I think. Wow, it's not even scraping. How much lower do we have to get before this scrapes? Okay, it's actually digging into the ground at this point. Okay, now it's broken. Yeah, okay, that's not going to work. Right, well, it doesn't scrape, but that's pretty damn low. So I'm going to slam that down. I'm not going to change the wheel size. I'm just going to tuck that in at the front. And it's pretty much glitching into the floor. That's the best we're going to manage. Look, we have to go that high up just to get it out. Yeah, okay. Well, that's an interesting one. I pressed the completely wrong button there. Let's get back in. It's a bit of a weird design, but there we are with custom wheels on an air tug. But I think now's the time we should probably move to the Golf Caddy. So let's do that and change location. And here we are with the Caddy. Now, in this little mod packet that I've got here, I've actually got two different versions. I've got this and the sort of scruffier version, but I'm going to try and just make like a proper pimped out Caddy that you could bring to the golf club and look like probably a bit of a dickhead, but we'll see. Maybe it will come out fantastic. Let's give this a try. So let's jump in to menus customs. Let's just bring the camera down here so we can have a better look at these wheels. And let's go for maybe actually, if we want to make this like a proper cool rugged style golf caddy, let's go for off-road wheels on this one. And let's just see, let's go for something, not those normally ones. I really like these. These are always just the ones that I go for. Even something like that's pretty cool. But I like how they look. So I'm going to go for these in the chrome version. Or at least the shinier, brighter version. Actually, no, I want to go for full dark colours because I think we can change the paint colour of the caddy as well. So let's just go forward. We've got an extras. Nothing in the extras. So let's just go for paints. Where's the... Maybe we can't change the paint, actually. Because we've got this prolapse thing on it, unless it just changes the white. Ah, it just changes that bit. Okay, so let's just go for a matte. And like a dark earth, olive drab, desert tan. What really goes with the colours that are already here? Foliage green. Let's see if the secondary colour changes as well. Ah, there's no secondary colour. Yes, we want to have a colour that matches this sort of like dark plastic that's going on. So I think actually any of these, olive drab, foliage green, they all sort of work pretty well. Forest green. Yeah, I think actually, let's go for olive drab. Sadly, we can't get rid of the prolapse, it seems. Which is not nice. You always want to get rid of a prolapse. Right, okay, so let's just go ahead and go to V-Stancer now. And let's just go for much bigger on the wheels. I'm going to get this jacked up a little bit. And of course, we need a bit more width because these wheels are pretty thin. That's probably going to give us some nice grip off-road. And then change. I'm not making this crazy. I'm trying to make these a bit more real to life than just going a bit silly with these. Obviously, we are going to be playing with the monster truck and the tractors in a minute, so I guess we've got time to be stupid. So there's those wheels lined up right there. And then I want to go for just a bit of rear height. I'm actually going to not use the visual arm. I'm actually just going to lift the height up because this changes the handling characteristics of the vehicle as well. So we're going to make this probably quite top heavy and probably quite likely to topple over. But I'm going to bring the track width out on these just so it's spaced out quite nicely. I mean, if you look down here, it is sort of disconnecting, but you're going to have to just ignore that, really, if you want to get the visual from the sides and from distance. I'll tell you what, straight away, we need to get this a little bit faster, I think. I don't know if these engine mods are really going to do anything, but I'm going to add all of them anyway. We could also add the suspension if we wanted that a bit stiffer. That might work. I'll just knock that back up in a second. And we've already got the turbo on there. That should give us a bit more speed. I mean, it's not fast, but that's a bit nippier than it was before. That's definitely loads faster than any other golf cart in the game at this point. Could definitely go a bit higher. I also want to add some dirt as well to make it look a bit more true to form as an off-road vehicle. So for the paint, let's just knock that dirt level all the way up. There we go, that's better. And now let's just go back to V-Stancer and just make this a little bit better. I'm going to go for some bigger wheels, actually. Make them a little bit bigger. We can go bigger. How about that? I reckon that is going to look pretty nice. This is going to be pretty much like a in terms of scale, a monster truck version of a golf cart. And knock those wheels up so that they're right, and then do the same on the rear as well. And then we're just going to go ahead and, ooh, that looks like it might break something if we go too far down. Ooh. Yeah, we might have pushed it just a little bit too big on these wheels. Sadly, you can go smaller with wheels and you don't really get a problem. But when you get bigger wheels, sometimes it can be a little bit messy, which I think is what's happening here. But do you know what? We're just going to go for the visualness and hopefully that I don't bug this out too much. Okay. This isn't working out as I planned. Okay, let's actually just bring these heights down and this might get rid of the glitching. Okay, maybe not. I'm just going to go for the visual lowering and just heighten it up. This looks great, but we're definitely having some problems with the collisions and everything else because I made the wheels bigger. It always just brings up some problems when you try to make these wheels just too big compared to the original scale of the wheels. But it's not too bad. It's pretty visual, as you can see. If we just try and get this still, there we go. We can at least get a nice picture out of it. And there we are. There is the off-road Golf Caddy. So I'm going to try and leave the track to the monster truck till last. So next up, let's try, seems we're with a bunch of grass here, the lawnmower. Okay, and here we are with this lawnmower right here. I'm actually feeling like doing another sort of off-road version because I feel like if I was to lower this down too much, this is just going to clip through the ground and it's going to look a bit stupid. And I don't think there is anything in this that allows me to take that off using the extras. Let's just have a look here. No, you can. Oh, okay. Well, this changes everything. I'm gonna slam this to the ground then. If I can get rid of that. Well, okay. That just turns it into more like a. Well, it's not really a lawnmower anymore. It's just a ride-on vehicle of some kind of very slow vehicle. Right. Well, okay. In that case, let's just go ahead and change the wheels. I don't think there's anything else we can really change with this. Let's just try and go for some crazy. I don't know what wheels are gonna look fitting with this because they're going to have to be small. Actually, something like these are a nice old school look. These could probably be some nice old school style wheels. So I'm going to go for them. I might keep them in the stock color as well. I always seem to go for black a lot lately, so I think I'm actually going to keep that as default. But I'm going to change the color of the lawnmower. Again, I could probably go for a matte and make it look like that. But like a, I don't know, a nicer version. What have we got in utility or worn? Actually, these aren't too bad. I mean, that's not super shiny, but that's a nice red lawnmower. That's pretty pretty. Okay, that's pretty pretty. So let's just jump out of the camera. Let's go to V-Stancer, go to tyres, and again, these rear wheels are bigger than the front. So I think I'm going to go smaller with this one to try and get it as low down as possible. I am noticing that we have got that bit at the back. I think we might have to ignore that and just let it glitch through the floor if we want to get this super low. So let's try this. This might be a little too small, but let's give it a go. I'm also going to make these wheels a lot wider. Like that. And let's just go ahead and change all the collisions to get that all fitting. There we are. There's front and rear done. Now we just have to go and play with the suspension. Let's just try and get this onto a bit of flatter ground just up here. Here we are. It's a real shame that I can't use the camera to do that because it'd be so much easier to see the stance, but we're going to have to use this camera view anyway. And let's just go low, down, to the ground. Oh, look at that. We could definitely go smaller. Let's go and get that rear track width in. Like that. Get a bit of rear camber going. Why not? Like that. And then a bit more visual lowering to bring that down to about there. I mean, as soon as we move, it's going to probably glitch through. Mind you, we don't really move that fast, so maybe not. And then on the front, I don't know. Could we just slam the front down? Like that? I guess that works. That is a stanced out lawnmower. That actually works pretty nicely. I'm going to take this out onto the road. Why not? In fact, actually, probably before we should, I'm going to modify the engine first, just so it keeps up with traffic speeds, because this thing is pretty slow. It's actually still incredibly slow. Okay, maybe I should probably change some of these figures. There we go. I've gone for 10 torque, 10 HP. It's still slow, but it's faster than it was, so that's better than could be expected. Oh, sorry, I'm going to turn this up to 100. What's this going to be like for speed? Okay, actually can barely get any grip. I guess it's just too powerful to even move forward. Yeah, okay, turning up the horsepower and the torque doesn't actually make it faster. It just makes it really hard to grip the wheels for some reason. But here we are on the road with our fully stanced out lawnmower. because reasons. Right, I'm just going to quickly make these wheels just a little bit smaller, just so we can get this thing lower down. Right, there's all the collisions sorted. Go to suspension menu, visual lowering. And there we are. Okay, that's actually going to knock through on the front there. So I'm going to knock that height up on the front just a little bit. Yeah, we probably could have made the wheels just a little bit bigger, but there we are for another small stanced out lawnmower. How about that? Right. We've only got 3 more vehicles now. We've got the monster truck, the tractor, and the dump truck. Actually, that's not true. There's more than one version of the tractor. In fact, there's 3 versions of the tractor. There's still so much more to go, so let's now move on then to the dump truck. And I guess from one extreme to the other, there's the lawnmower, and there's the dump truck. I just love the huge difference in scale between those two. That is insane. So I could actually lift this up, get some off-road wheels, and make this into like a crazy off-road version of the dump truck, but we've got to check out how low it can go. I think that's going to have to be the theme of this video. Let's just go for some fancy wheels and start this dump truck. And it's going to look very weird with these wheels. Definitely the off-road wheels are going to match it a little bit better, because no way are these wheels ever going to be made this big. The only thing I could think of is to make it with donk wheels, but then, to be honest, I'm going to make the wheels smaller, so it's not really going to matter how these wheels look right now. I'm just going to try and pick a nice, solid set of wheels. And actually, I quite like the look of these. It's quite an interesting wheel design. It's quite thick. I wanted some nice, thick spokes on this one. I'm not sure what other... Oh, these aren't too bad. Should we give her something like that? Let's give her something like that. And then, in fact, let's just change the paint colour as well whilst we're here. Normally we would go for a yellow, so maybe let's just go for, ooh, one of these. And now, of course, we can actually always change the colour. That bit we've always been able to do. Garnet red almost looks like an orange. I like how that looks. I'm going to go for that. So yeah, the only thing that really changes with this mod that I'm currently using is the fact that I can add wheels. Because if you were to try to do that with menus customs in your own games, it would actually just crash. So, let's go to V-Stancer. Let's just go to tyres, wheel size, and knock this thing right down. Okay, this is going to look weird, and definitely with those front steps, they're going to be glitching through. Some of this we're going to have to ignore if we want to get this super low down to the ground. But I reckon that size wheel might be right. And these wheels are already huge, as they are, but we could just go bigger for the hell of it, because we can. So, let's just go for that super width. And let's change all these collisions so they match with the ground. Right, let's just go for just visual lowering. In fact, could we? I think if we change the height... Ah, there we go. Okay, it doesn't really make any visual things. Sometimes you get like visual suspension things with these vehicles, but this one doesn't really change anything, so it's fine. We'll just use the rear height instead of the visual lowering for this one. It might glitch out though, doing this. I guess we'll soon see. Hey, bus. Okay, actually, let's just park in this car park. In fact, I probably won't even be able to fit. Oh, I can. No, wait, hang on. The wheels are too wide. Abort, abort. Okay, so let's just go on the pavement. So that's the rear down, pretty much like as low as it can go. I know that the vehicle is almost scraping at this point. That is as low as it can go, really. And then the same on the front. I should probably try this again with visual lowering. In fact, I've completely broken the rear wheel somehow. What's happened there? What has happened with my rear wheels? They've just completely flipped inside out. They both... Okay, this has all gone wrong. This has all gone wrong. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to go for the small wheels once again, but I'm going to use the visual lowering this time instead of changing the whole characteristics of the vehicle, because that just made everything just go pear-shaped. Okay, so here we are with the wheels down on the ground. Let's go for a bit more width again, just like I did last time. And this time, let's just go for some visual lowering. And, oh, okay. That is as physically low as it can go. With the, well, actually, we probably, hang on, let's just try this. Okay, we can go lower, but this is where we're really, there we go. It's now broken the rear wheel again. Ah, it's the track width, I think. I think that's what was doing it. Ah. If you change the track width too much, so we can't actually stick it out any further than that because it just makes the wheels go funny. Ah, okay. So we won't be getting any poke. Can we get a bit of camber going? We can, but the second I change that track width, it's going to do that. which is kind of weird. So, yeah, we probably shouldn't do camber on this one. So, yeah, just a case of just getting that visual lowering down and then just trying as hard as possible to get this stuff down without anything breaking. Ooh, this is getting low, though. This is getting really low. But I think it's about to break. I think we're really just on the edge right now. Okay, I think this is the best we can manage, because as soon as I just go for any more rear height down, that's getting close. I think that's our limit. Right there. So there it is. A stanced out. Well, stanced out low with wide wheels version, wide and much smaller wheels version, of a dump truck. I don't know about that one. It's a curious look. It looks like a Hot Wheels, I've got to say. It just looks like, you know, you get the Hot Wheels, they always stick some nice sort of fancy wheels because it's just whatever they make. They don't always change the wheels for these cars. They just stick on whatever they've got in a pot. This sort of looks like a Hot Wheels vehicle. But there we go. That's pretty big and imposing. Right, so now let's move on to the monster trucks. And here we are with the monster truck. Now, this is pretty fantastic. Bob322 and Boy1 have, and it's just been spoilt by that idiot. And, oh, I guess, well, GTA 5 spoiled it. But as you can see there, that is a Figureight livery for a monster truck. But we're going to have to check this out in a second because I'm going to have to restart GTA. Right, so here we are back in the game, and hopefully it's not going to crash this time. I think maybe I just spawned in a few too many vehicles and it made the game just go a bit topsy-turvy. But here we are with the Figureight monster truck. Now, the whole point of this is because now we can change the wheels, which means we can stance a monster truck. Have a lowered monster truck, even a more lifted version of a monster truck is actually possible. And the great thing about the monster truck is you can change the suspension values and you can see all the suspension parts moving. It's really cool. I just love how this whole thing works, how it's all visual and you can see it. It's so awesome. So we're going to try that in just a second. But as you guys may know, there is actually two versions of the monster truck. And as they've taken the opportunity to add in liveries for me, Bob and Boy1 have also made another monster truck with another version of the livery that they said I should check out. So, not sure about this. Let's spawn the other one in. And here it is, with some writing on it. What does it say? Lex is best YouTuber. Love our guys. We love you, Lex. Love her. Oh, that's so nice. 8 out of 8 IGN. Oh, thanks, guys. That's pretty nice. I was expecting something horrible, like you was going to put Lex as a racer or something. But no, that's nice. That's nice of you, or drawn some dicks on it or something. But no, that's really nice. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So, actually, I should probably spawn in the other one because this looks a bit sort of tatty. And let's try and lower and stance a monster truck. Okay, so I need to find somewhere to do this. Actually, this grassy verge just here is just perfect, in fact. So, let's just go to menus customs, let's go to wheels, and let's just find something in the sports section, as we always do. I'm sure there's going to be something in here that fits. In fact, let's go for something that's not deep dish this time. Seems we've got a big old monster truck. Let's try wheels like this. So, I'm just going to go V-Stancer. Going to go to tyres, and I think we should probably make the wheels a little bit smaller if we're going to lower this down. So, about there, and I'm actually going to make them thinner so they actually look a bit more like real wheels. Like that. I think that's going to work. We're definitely going to have to pull these wheels in quite far. But let's see, hopefully we don't get any bugs or anything like that. So, as we move this down with the collisions, you'll also notice that the whole section moves down. This is so awesome. I love the fact that this whole thing moves. It actually moves like in relation to the bit in the middle as well. So cool. I love how visual and awesome that is. And let's just go for suspension menu. And of course, instead of the visual lowering, which as you may notice just changes the whole thing, which it doesn't look too great, if we just go for the rear height, as you can see, it actually changes the whole sections of the suspension and drops the whole thing down. Now, I am expecting this to glitch at some point, but I'm just going to try and get this as low as possible. So there's the rear, sort of pretty low. Let's do the same on the front. Oh my god, this actually looks like if we shrunk the scale of this, it would look like a remote control vehicle for some reason. This is already looking pretty mad. So let's just bring this height down even more. We might have to get some visual lowering at the end, but I want to try and get as much of that done with the physical suspension as possible. So let's just get that down on the rear as well as much as we can to about there is where it stops moving. And the front stops moving about there. Okay. So yeah, we definitely want to get this a bit lower. Let's just bring those track widths in as much as we can before some bits stick through, which is about there. And then the same on the front. And move that down until it glitches through the wheels or the brakes, whatever's visual. There we go. To about there. That's as much as we can tuck these wheels in for this one. But this is already looking a bit more, excuse me, a bit more understated compared to normal monster trucks. But as we've just lowered this down, we've definitely got some scraping issues going on right now. Yeah, okay, that's scraping quite a lot. But let's go for some visual lowering anyway. Lower this down, because I guess if we did have it this low, it would be scraping, because actually there's some stuff going through the floor already. But how about that? That is looking pretty insane for a monster truck. A whole load different to any monster truck that we would have seen in the game before. But of course, with this lowering like this, it's definitely just, yeah, undrivable. In fact, I just want to try, let's just try lifting the suspension up and just going for the visual lowering. So let's just go for that. Knock that up. So we've got just a nice amount of play in the suspension. There we go. And then try the visual lowering instead. Ah, see, look. We can only go as low as that. So let's just try and knock that down. Lowering on that. Lowering on the front. And see if it scrapes now. Ooh. We might have actually got this without it scraping. Let's see. There we go. I've lowered it. It's definitely glitching through the ground. But if you're just looking at the wheels and the arches, it matches and fits. There we go. Right, I'm going to try and make one jacked up version of this first. And then we've got 3 more tractors. This is going to be a really long video. And we should probably just start off by running that guy over because he's going to be noisy. And in fact, let's just use the same vehicle, shall we? Let's go for some visual lowering. Knock that up really high. In fact, let's just go for some standard and just change the height as high as we can go before it starts looking disconnected, which is about there, I'd say. Yeah, actually, they're disconnect, so we're going to have to ignore that. Let's just get that back down to normal and just use the visual heightening, I think. And then change the heightening as high as we can go. Oh, that's pretty high. Although we definitely got that disconnect with the wheels. That looks odd, but we'll have to ignore that bit. And let's just bring the track width out. And then the same with these. And let's make the wheels bigger. There we go. Now, this is definitely going to have some issues when I change this radius. I'm definitely expecting some sort of glitch like we had with the other vehicle that we checked out, the Golf Caddy, where we made the wheels bigger. This might have the same effect. Go for some wheel width as well, because these are looking pretty thin in the skin. Oh, actually, it works. Oh, well, how about that? We can either have... I'm actually going to put some donk wheels on that, just to make that a bit more fitting, so it's a donk monster truck. There we go, and of course, as I forgot last time, it does actually reset the wheel size, but at least you can see how much different it is when you have the normal set of wheels compared to what we just had. Let's go ahead and make all this bigger again. There we go, get that big to match the collisions. And some more wheel width. There we go. That is a donk monster truck. Because why not? And there you go. That's one hell of a creation. Right, let's now try the 3 tractors. Starting off with the rusty one. And here we are with the old school, the classic, the rusty tractor. So I'm actually just going to jump straight back into this car park. And all I'm going to do really is, I could actually make this like a 4-wheel drive version, but I want to make this like a hot rod. So we're going to have to change the wheels and make it look a bit more sporty. And actually I'm going to change the engine and stuff and upgrade that as well, because it's a little bit slow in its standard form. And we've also got some extras as well. We could get rid of this on the back, but I like how it looks with it, and I think it will look nice with the wheels afterwards. We can also have the plate on the front. I'm not going to have that, so yeah, we could go without, but for this, I'm going to keep that on. We could also change the paint, which is it's giving an interesting look. I'm starting to panic now because I don't know how to get this back to normal. Now it just looks sort of burnt out and it's terrible. Maybe the ice white or the grey or something. Oh god, what have I done? There you go. I'll just go for the brushed aluminium. It's a slightly different colour, just to make it even more unique. And I'm going to go for tuner wheels. I want to go for these, like, just steel wheel style ones again, because I think this is going to fit. And I'll make these wheels dark like that. This is going to be a pretty dark looking vehicle. But as you can see straight off the bat, we do have the problem where this wheel was bigger and so this one floats. But of course we can change the collisions of the rear, so that one should be fine. But we do have this spindle to contend with. This might be a bit of an issue. But let's see. Let's just go full wheel size. And I'm actually just going to make it a little bit bigger. Like that, just so it fills the arches just a little bit. And we'll go for much wider because these things are really thin right now. And that's going to help hide the spindle. I'm definitely going to make those wheels stick out just a little bit more to hide the spindle even more. But let's just go for the rear, tyre radius, and as you can see, that whole rear bit moves down, which is pretty nice. And we can move that down to about there. I think it's going to be fine. And in the front, we just have to jack that up just a little bit. Now, sadly, we can't make the wheels sort of smaller and thinner. It would have been nice if we could have changed those individually, but I'm just going to go to make the back fit, and then the front we'll just have to ignore. And here we are, visual lowering. Knock it down, and as you can see, that spindle comes down as well. Sadly, we can't really do anything about that, but there we go. Maybe we'll get a little bit of camber, make this stanced out. That might actually help hide the spindle a bit more because it's on the bottom part. Because that, yeah, I think that's going to work. I mean, it looks stupid, and in fact, it's also bugging out just a little bit on those front wheels. But there we go. There is a sort of hot roddy, stanced out looking. Do you know what? I'm actually going to put hot rod wheels on this and try this again. There we go. Some nice smoothies and white walls. About that. And then I'll go ahead and just change the colour. I'll make them red just to make it a bit more hot rod style. There we go. That's more like it. That's a bit of a more fitting style than what we had before. Now it's just a case of changing the wheel size again. I probably won't make them as big as I did have them though. Let's go for some tyres, go for some wheel size, knock that up just a little bit. Definitely not as big as it was before. See, now I'd like to keep the front wheels like no wider than that, really. But of course I want to make this just a little bit wider to fit at the back, so of course the front ends up looking a bit weird. But there we are on the back. Let's go ahead and change all the radius and everything so it fits to the ground. There we go, and there we are. I mean, we could probably actually just get rid of some of the cam, but I was just trying to hide that spindle, but it might be alright just keeping it as it is. And let's see, where do we get the spindle coming in? See, the spindle doesn't come into about there on this wheel. That fits. There we are. There is a sort of hot rod version of the rusted tractor. There we are. Let's get a nice closer view of that. Just a nice far away cinematic shot. I like taking these sort of photos. And there we are. There is our very weird rusted out tractor. So let's now move on to the normal modern tractor, and then we're going to end it with the one that 13 Stuart C has made, which is a cross between tractor and monster truck. Let's see, let's get on now to the normal tractor. Okay, and here we are, and just look at the size difference between this and the hot rod that we have before us. Actually, that looks quite cool now that I'm off it. It's a pretty interesting look. But I probably should have been playing around with these in the farms because I wanted to have these in more fitting environments. So let's move to somewhere a bit more appropriate for this tractor right here. Okay, here we are with the tractor in a far more fitting environment, although not for long because I want to lower this thing down and stance it. Or maybe I'll make the jacked up version, but I might do that with the next one. So let's just go ahead, find somewhere to park. And, well, I don't think this is going to turn out very well. I've got to say I don't have high hopes for this one, but we'll see. So let's go to menus, customs. Let's go ahead. I want to make this just a nice, shiny, simple red. Just a nice, beautiful red tractor, as you would always expect to see. Looking really nice. And then for the wheels, I'm going to go for tuner this time. And try and find something a bit more steel wheel looking. As this is a tractor, we don't want to have this with any sort of fancy wheels on it because that will look weird. Which actually doesn't leave us with much choice, I've got to say. There's just, what have we got? There's like one up here. There's this thing. Should we try this? Should we try it in the sports section actually so we get the nice chrome lip? There we go. Let's just go for that. And I'm going to make the wheels red to match. There we go. Very nice. In fact, let's just move this out into the sun a little bit more, shall we? There we go. That's a little bit better. So let's now just jump to V-Stancer. Let's go to our tyres and I guess make the wheels smaller. I guess that's our first job. Right there. Is that going to be too much? That might be too much, but let's see. We'll go for a bit more wheel width as well, even though these are pretty wide already. I just wanted to have those wheels just look a little bit wider, and just because we can, really. And let's go ahead and change the collisions on them. And let's go to the suspension menu. I was going to go for visual lowering. Ooh, okay, that bit of the front's definitely going to be scraping through. But, ooh, if we could have got rid of that, that would look pretty intense. It doesn't really help that we're on a really uneven road as well. We might have to move this over to a bit. Is that a bit of road over there? I think that might be smooth enough for us to park on. Okay, there is actually vehicles, but doesn't matter. We'll just park it right here. Yeah, we've definitely got some glitching going through. We just want to go for the front track width and bring that in. Definitely looking kind of odd. Definitely looking kind of odd. And then the same for the rear. Bring that in just a little bit. And as you can see, it's not really attaching to the wheels anymore. The whole thing looks completely off. But it is possible, so long as you blow your eyes a bit to miss out some of the details where it looks kind of weird, to stance out a tractor. Just like that. And there we are. Oh boy. So the next one is the monster truck. This is where it's going to be interesting. I'm going to make it just a little bit less crazy and silly, and more off-road and potentially awesome. Let's see. And here it is. And you might notice a few differences. This one had the big exhaust here. This one has it coming out the back. This one has obviously no crazy engine. This one has this blown engine sticking out. It also has this sort of front. It's actually, I believe, to be a spoiler. Possibly an upside down spoiler, actually, turned into a front bumper. And also, there is a spoiler, but we're going to have to spawn that in. So, if I just get people are going around me on this road, I'm just going to park here. Let's go for vehicle options, menus, customs, go to extras, and so we have extra 1, which is the front mudguard, which I want to get rid of in this case, since we've been keeping it for most of these builds. Extra 2 is the spoiler at the top. As you can see there, I'm going to keep that off really because, well, it's just going to look just a little bit too crazy, I think. And then we also have extra 4, which adds a plate to that front bumper, but there's no way of getting rid of that front bumper. So we're going to have to stick with that. So let's go to, first of all, paint, I think, actually. Let's just go for a nice matte. Ooh, yeah, something like that. Dark earth, olive, drab. That's looking pretty nice. And then we go for the wheels, go for off-road, and let's just pick something like the wheels that I really like, or there are these ones, which are pretty grippy looking, pretty mad looking. I think these wheels, actually. Let's just go for these. Let's just jump out to V-Stancer, go to tyres, get out of that camera mode, and let's just change these wheels and just make them about that big. I think that's going to be alright. Bring the width out. And we're just going to have to play around with these just to make them fit onto the road a bit more. Same with the rear. Hopefully this won't bug out. This would be a bit of a shame if it bugs out. Or if it just doesn't get high enough. Oh, no, that's going to be high enough, I think. It's slightly glitching out. That is as high as it can go. That's pretty much it. And then rear track width. Bring that out a little bit more. And on the front track width, actually, we'll bring that out a little bit more. Definitely weird because we have no connecting things underneath here anymore. Mind you, it was the same as here, wasn't it, really? Because that was at the bottom instead. But there is a full-sized, big, massive, lifted tractor. Now, I haven't moved this vehicle yet, but if I just steer, you'll notice that this is actually based on a monster truck and has full monster truck style wheel movement and sound and speed. So this thing is a tractor for the ages. This thing is amazing. This one you can download. The other ones you can't really download at the moment. I don't know if these would be posted anywhere. If they do ever get uploaded into GTA 5 mods, I will let you guys know in another video. But this one is available right now. I'll put a link in the description below where you can get this one. This is pretty amazing. So that is actually it. We finally got to the end. This video recording so far has been 57 minutes. Hopefully I can try and get this down and edited to a bit more of a digestible size for you guys to watch. But there we go, guys. That is it. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below which one of these vehicles was your favourite. Maybe you'd have done them a bit differently. Maybe you'd have lifted, stance, something. I don't know. Maybe there's another vehicle that you can't do this with that you would like to see me try. And maybe, just maybe, we'll do another video where we can try and do some other ones. But I'm not entirely sure if we'll be doing any more. I can't promise anything. But there we go, guys. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And actually, if you have any more ideas of anything you would like to see me stance still, just leave it in the comment section below, and maybe I'll have another video where we'll try some more of these things out. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.